I said goodbye to Solomon and headed for the hospital, already with a plan in place for the next day. It sounded like a roar, a bizarre thunderclap in my head, and everything around me became blurry. I blinked repeatedly, trying to focus my sight, until finally I saw hands emerging from the darkness, reaching out to me. They grabbed me, pulling me. I screamed in fright, waving my hands in the air, as if defending myself from someone, to free myself from the embrace. "Kid, wake up, we're here!" The taxi driver urged me to focus on the moment, clearly annoyed. My mom had sent him to pick me up and take me to the hospital. "I'm sorry, I fell asleep." I tried to apologize quickly, trying to justify my sudden start. "Really? I hadn't noticed, kid. Now please get out of the taxi, I have to pick up other passengers," he said, pointing out the situation we were in due to my sudden behavior. "I had to wait for 10 minutes, and now you're falling asleep. What's wrong with young people these days?" he grumbled. I quickly got out of the taxi, gathering my things, feeling immense relief when I realized that I had not been kidnapped by some dark entity. "I warned you, I didn't want to go back to the man in the gray coat," although I still noticed some skepticism in your eyes. I looked uneasily at the imposing hospital in front of me. I took a deep breath before heading for the entrance. Hospitals have always given me an uneasy feeling, with their characteristic smell and sterile walls. But today I had no choice, I was here for an out-of-routine checkup. I walked hurriedly to the pediatric area, where Dr. Albert Mollister, my pediatrician for as long as I can remember, had been waiting for me for a few minutes. Although I was nervous, I knew that at the end of the consultation there would always be something comforting, like candy. I wished my mother was busy with some medical procedure, otherwise, I was sure to get a well-deserved reprimand from her. Or have you already forgotten the incident in the locker room, and what happened in history class? I tried. When I arrived at the doctor's office, Mrs. Mills, a kind receptionist in her 50s, greeted me with a smile and informed me that the good Dr. Mollister had been waiting for me for a few minutes. "Good afternoon, doctor," I greeted him politely as I entered, putting my backpack on the floor. "Hello, Alec. Your mother told me you would be here early," he confirmed, reminding me of my delay in the appointment she had made. That disarmed any excuse I might have had prepared. As he began to prepare the instruments for the examination, he asked, "Was there an incident at school?" I gave him a brief explanation, without going into details. "And do you know where my mother is?" "I thought she would be here by now," I asked, trying to divert the conversation and avoid a direct encounter during the examination. The doctor looked at me with seriousness and understanding, knowing well about my school pranks. "She's probably in surgery, but she asked me to let her know when you arrived," he said, which didn't reassure me at all. "Do you know why your mom brought your checkup forward?" he asked, taking a stethoscope and tongue depressor. "I think it was something she noticed when she was giving me a bath," I said, aware of the reason for the checkup. As I took off my shoes and pants, I added, "I didn't say anything, but I saw her worried." "Well, then let's get started. You know the routine, kid," the doctor said with a sigh, as if he hoped to find nothing abnormal, and I, though I didn't want to, prepared for the examination, left without any clothes on, with a hint of resignation. It was just another checkup, but I couldn't help but feel nervous. At that moment, now that I think about it again, I don't know what was worse in that situation, my mother arriving at any moment or the doctor finding something abnormal during the checkup. I knew that this time it would not be a routine medical examination, and that worried me. Besides, I couldn't stop thinking about the school report that I still had to show my mother. Her reaction was an unknown that tormented me.